welcome everyone to the Far Left Lane podcast. Today is November 4th, 2023, year of our Lord. Um, my name's Kevin. I'm joined with my co-host Matt. How you doing, man?
I'm great, dude. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't believe it's already November. This year's
Yeah,
like flown by
it's
so fast.
is it nice and crispy out in Alabama?
Yeah, we had a cold front come through. I think it was a few days ago, but yeah, it's been pretty chilly.
It's a
So
good time to be alive, right?
yeah,
When it gets cold out.
yeah, it was pretty cold on Halloween when I was taking Marley trick or treating. Like I was very cold, even bundled up.
Yeah. Did she have a warm costume?
She did not, unfortunately. She wore Animal Crossing. What's the raccoon's name?
Mm, Nook?
Nook. Yeah, she dressed up as Nook, and his outfit is like this like Hawaiian shirt, like
Yeah,
Tommy
yeah.
Bahama shirt and shorts. Yeah, she that's what she wanted to dress up as. So she
That's
seemed like
cute.
she was fine though. But yeah, and then she had some little squirrel thing and a tail, like a squirrel like headband that she wore.
That's
So
fun.
yeah, she liked it.
Uh yeah, I remember one random Halloween when I was young when it was unusually cold
Hmm.
and I was Davy Crockett and then like it was cold and like my parents put a jacket over it and I was like, now I don't look like Davy Crockett. It's like ruins it.
Yeah, yeah. We actually brought a jacket for her, but she didn't wear it because it would have ruined her costume. Because you'd be like, "What are you?"
Yeah, I
Um,
like that. I think it's actually not Nook. I think it's something else. As soon as I said that, I was like, I haven't played that game for like over a year
yeah,
or
she
so.
she told me what it was, and I can't remember.
I think what I'm thinking of is Nook's Crossing or something, which is like the store.
Hmm.
I don't know. I can't remember.
That name kind of sounds familiar, Nook. So maybe that's part of the name. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I have a to start us off. I have a unrelated space or AI question for you.
Okay.
It's on topic with it being November. When do you think is the earliest time you should start decorating for Christmas? I feel like this is kind of controversial. Some people are
Um,
very early.
I,
Some are like, no, you can't do it till
I
December 1st.
I'm early.
You're an early?
I'm
What's early
yeah.
for you
I'm
though?
Black Friday,
Black Friday? I
day
think
after
that's
Thanksgiving.
yeah, I think that's super reasonable.
The reason I justify that is because of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade ends with Santa being like, Christmas is here. And then I'm like, okay, Santa, I'm putting up a tree tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think the earliest, in my opinion, the earliest would be like the weekend before Thanksgiving, because sometimes I think it's nice to have a tree up during Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
because I view it as like
yeah.
pre-Christmas, you know?
Some people do like a fall tree. Like, no, it's like
Yeah, that,
fall colors
hmm
and then they just take all that fall stuff off and put the Christmas stuff on. It's
that
kind of
sounds like,
classy.
yeah, it's classy, but it sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, I think that's for probably like housewives.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I think my mom does that.
Or stay-at-home husbands. Here at the Far Left Lane podcast, we are very progressive.
No, I was just saying that because my mom does it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding.
I was not
I was
saying
just
anything
imagining
about.
like be like, you know, like housewives just doing that. I don't know.
Yeah, house husbands also put up fall trees.
Yes. So, okay.
Uh,
I feel like those are, yeah, Black Friday. I think that's probably a good
what's the
time.
latest you can keep your decorations up though?
That's a good question. I haven't thought about it. I remember hearing other people say it needs to be brought down before the Super Bowl. That seems kind
Oh
of late
yeah,
though.
like that's like February 14th, I think. So Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, I would definitely judge someone who had decorations up for
Mhm.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's
Is
for
that
me,
isn't
it's
sometimes a
like
Super Bowl in January, or is it always?
February.
It's always February. Okay.
I would say January 7th is usually the day I'm like, you got to take it down, dude. It's
Yeah.
actually just depressing if you keep it up after that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Plus, you kind of look like a dirtbag.
Yeah. I think like around maybe New Year's or something, or shortly after New Year's. I think it's fine to keep it up during New Year's, but like maybe the first week of January.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I think that's more than enough time. So
I'm so excited. I'm already thinking about how I'm going to decorate my place because I have like a different configuration. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to put my tree this year. So I'm excited to break all that stuff out and get in the holiday spirit. Turn on some 101.1 24-hour Christmas music radio stations.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
we'll probably do that probably after Thanksgiving. I don't know. Jesse has like Halloween decorations that because she's very into Halloween. Um,
yeah.
which I know later we're going to be doing holiday rating, but this will be me and your opinion.
Mhm.
I won't take that into account of what Jesse's thoughts are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Um,
yeah. Do you want to? We can jump into some topics. Should we start out with AI first? I think there's a few AI related stuff.
whatever you're most excited about, let's break it down.
All right. So Elon Musk, I don't know if you heard about this. This was like I think yesterday or 2 days ago. He announced
Mhm.
that he's developing a chatbot that's kind of linked with Twitter. I guess he has
Okay.
a startup called XAI or something like that.
Yeah, that launches today, actually.
Oh, the chatbot launches today?
XAI
Or
launches
XAI.
today, but
Okay.
to very select groups, probably for research purposes.
Gotcha. Yeah, I heard it, like on his tweet, he said something about like you can have early access if you're a subscriber to X. So like a paid subscriber.
No, 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 no.
This
It's
must be
it
different
what
then.
Yeah, I think XAI is like as soon as it's out of early beta, then it will be available to people who have the X
Memberships.
Plus premium subscription.
Right. Okay.
But
Yeah.
that's a ways
That's
away.
a ways away. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, it sounded like it was like just it was still in development. So yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense.
Well, this is something I read about a bunch, but I feel like it might be more in like your wheelhouse, like Oracle Cloud.
I'm familiar with Oracle. They're
I
the people that do Java and they own.
Well, XAI is training on Oracle Cloud. That's what Larry Ellison
Okay.
said. Him and
Gotcha.
Elon are buddies, and
They're
he's
doing
like,
some
yeah,
partnership. Yeah.
he's like, we signed a contract, so he's training it on that.
Okay.
I don't really know Oracle Cloud though.
I it's just a data center that Oracle owns.
Okay,
Um,
okay,
yeah, I think OpenAI, I think they're using a lot of like Microsoft Azure. Like Azure is the cloud data center by Microsoft. So yeah, Oracle Cloud is just Oracle's data center, basically.
okay. Yeah, that was something that didn't wasn't familiar to me, and I
Yeah,
didn't look it
cloud is
up.
like a buzzword, I feel like, just to mean like somebody else's data center that
Right.
they just like kind of abstract things that you don't need to see. Like you don't need to rack your own equipment. You can like put a server up and just do it all through software.
Okay.
But that's interesting.
The XAI, of course, Elon's going to be biased, but he was like, it performs better than all the competition in most regards, is what he said.
Yeah,
He's
we'll have to.
really he's he's proud of this thing. And I mean,
Yeah.
I guess if you think about his whole overpaying for Twitter, like
Hmm.
this is probably phase 3. This is probably the phase where I mean, he did say like my next business model is a cash machine. It's just going
Yeah.
to print cash. So it's like I guess buying Twitter for uh probably $20 billion more than it was worth.
Hmm.
And then kind of like changing the terms of service and the policies was phase 1. Phase 2 was rebranding it, and then phase 3 is let's make it undeniably cool with some AI integration
Yeah.
whenever it gets out of that beta.
Right. Well, I have some questions about, or I don't understand what Elon Musk is doing with Twitter. Like, I understand like adding
Mhm.
these new features, but have you heard that he's openly said like they're getting rid of like the free tier to X? Like that's gonna
I
go
didn't know
away.
that.
Yeah,
I thought he was like it's gonna be $1 just to use it, and then it was like the next tier was like 3, and then the next one's like $20 a month
he said
with the
eventually, yeah, eventually he wants to just have only paid tiers. So it'll probably be cheap, but like from like just like a social media like news sharing standpoint,
yeah
I see them losing tons of users. So maybe
yeah
them pivoting to like some AI tool that people would pay for, companies or something. Maybe that is the future of Twitter. Unless
yeah
unless he kind of walks some of that back. I do you agree though? Don't I feel like they should have a free
Mm,
tier to X? Like
I
maybe you don't
guess
get those additional stuff, but like
if their plan is to get rid of all bots and stuff, so you charge $1 just to like prove I'm a person, I'll pay $1 to have this.
I think it's three
Um,
bucks a month for their lowest tier one that
okay.
they're that he's
Yeah,
yeah
he probably will. They probably will lose a lot of users then. But also, the next pivot, he's going to turn it into a bank. So it's like I think X is becoming an umbrella of
yeah
everything you do online. So maybe some people will be like, it's worth it. It's like the
yeah
maintenance fee you have at a bank, or like I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he will pivot because that does seem like an unpopular choice or like direction to take it.
yeah. He announced it on Twitter, but like it's not like it's official, and it's not like Twitter's CEO said
Hmm.
anything about it. But I do think that she probably just does whatever Elon tells her to do.
Yeah,
He owns it, so that makes sense.
yeah. He's taking some big risks with this. I mean, but he also doesn't. He doesn't seem like when I saw him on Elon at least, and they're
Mhm.
talking about like Joe's basically like, why did you pay $44 billion for that? And he's like, yeah, I overpaid, but he's like, he's like, I did it to like save humanity.
Yeah,
He's such an
I like
egomaniac.
Elon Musk, but I feel like um he might be saving face a little bit because like he tried to back
Mm,
out of the deal. Do you remember that?
yeah.
Like after he offered to buy it, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, there's a bunch of problems here. I don't
Mm.
want it." And they're like, "No, no, you've gone too
It's
far."
too late.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was gonna lose a lot.
but yeah, I mean, I hope it turns into something cool. I logged in today. It didn't make me pay. It didn't make me sign up for a membership. The free tier still exists, but
Mm,
um, yeah, it's one thing if it's like you pay $1 one time to like prove your identity.
right.
Although we've seen that with bots not work out. People paid $7 or $8 for a blue check mark, and then they
Yeah,
actually ended up getting legit people that didn't have a paid subscription. So I don't know if that argument really works with bots. It seems like at face value, it seems like
it
it could be
makes
a good idea.
sense. But also when you think of like some some bot farm in Turkey that's trying to push fake crypto, they're like, hell
Oh,
yeah, I'll
yeah,
pay $1
yeah.
to
Plus that,
sell
and it
some bogus.
makes me legitimate just by doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there should
I'm
have
a
been
person now.
yeah, there should have
I
been
have a
some extra
dollar.
stuff. Yeah, there should have been some extra stuff with that $8 charge. They clearly just, it was like, oh, you pay $8. There's no like process that where they were actually reviewing it. You know what I mean? It's like blue check
Mhm.
mark for you. But I don't know. All right. Another topic. I put this in the chat. Well, in our private chat for topics. The Biden administration on Monday they issued an executive order for AI standards. Did you hear about that?
No. What is Biden saying about
Yeah.
AI?
What is Biden actually? Yeah, I'm sure he's not saying. I'm sure Biden doesn't know what what's happening. But
Yeah, Biden. This is my impression of Biden. Like they're like, okay, President Biden, we need to talk about AI. He's like, AI, I got two of them. Come on, man.
yeah, yeah, it's definitely
That's such a
people in his
that's such a dad
administration.
joke.
Yeah, it's definitely people in his administration. But yeah, they came up with like some standards for like security and privacy, I guess. I was reading them
Yeah.
over. It's on the White House's website. You can look it over. There's quite a bit of stuff in there.
Hmm.
Most of it made sense. It's I feel like Elon Musk would actually agree with a lot of things that they were, you know, standards that they were talking about because he's been like
Yeah.
a huge, proponent of being like we need to think about this. What AI is going to
That's
do.
ironic about Elon because he's like definitely like it's so transparent. He's like we need to pause on AI. Going to these summits being like, you know, the future is bright, but we need to pause. We should be like a little more cautious. But
Yeah,
it's like obvious he's trying to corner the market because at the same time he's like pushing
he's
out
also doing his
XAI.
own. Yeah, yeah,
What can the American government actually do about it? It's sort of one of those things you can't uninvent it. You can't. I don't know.
Yeah,
how
I think
much
the only thing they
regulation
can
they could
do,
actually do on it.
yeah, the only thing they can do is write laws, right? Uh, but like, I
Yeah.
don't know how well you can control it with regulation, but I guess something is better than nothing, right? I think what's going to be
Mm.
interesting is when, because in Congress, I think in the Senate, they already like a couple of days after that executive order from Biden, they put out some bill um, or proposed a bill for discussing like some regulations with AI. I think it's going to be funny though, hearing like all these people in Congress talk about AI, because like you saw how that was when they were asking questions to like Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg,
Yeah.
they looked way out of like their element, you know.
Yeah.
It's like they don't understand how the internet works. I don't know how they're going to have conversations about artificial intelligence, you know.
I would love to know how many members of Congress can like give you sort of even like just the basics on what's going on with AI currently. I think it's probably very few of them. Like ask Speaker Mike Johnson about AI. See
Yeah,
what he has to say. Oh
yeah,
my God.
yeah. I think those are the only two AI related topics I had. Did you have anything that?
I don't think so. Maybe we'll circle back. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Okay.
Maybe we'll put a pin in that. And
Well, let's move on. We'll move on to space.
okay, I love space.
Um, so I sent you a link for this, and you probably heard about it too. That NASA Plus streaming.
Yeah, what is that gonna be though? Is it like original programming?
So it's a dedicated streaming app, but here's the thing: NASA already had an app. I don't know if you've ever used it. It's called NASA TV. Have you ever used that before?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's on Apple
Yeah,
TV.
I have it
Yeah,
on my Chromecast. It sounds like the same thing. So
but they're gonna charge for it?
no, no, it's completely free. NASA
Oh,
Plus,
okay.
yeah, I know the Plus makes it sound like it's,
It
a
sounds
paid thing.
premium. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they're gonna make it better. I don't know. They made it sound
Mm.
like it's gonna be a new app, but it's the same thing. Yeah, you can like watch stream missions and they'll do behind the scenes stuff, related to different missions they have going on. And
Mhm.
I don't think they're gonna have like original programming. I didn't see anything like that, but
Like
like
Desperate Housewives of the ISS.
that would be that would be very funny if they did.
Or like a Survivor thing. You've been voted off the ISS, and then they hit like the
Yeah.
like the decompression thing. It's like, oh,
That would be
I'm
awesome.
sorry, it's your tortillas. And then they just drift off, and it's oh man, that would be fun for a parody, like a parody
Yeah.
like NASA original programming. I would pay for that
Yeah.
actually.
That could
Some
be
reality television in space.
maybe Apple TV would pick that up, right?
They could do a really cool like cooking show, like a Food Network thing, but like just
In microgravity.
space cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be like wait till your dough rises and it's just like floating. That'd be funny. Um you sent me a topic that I think would be good to discuss, the that Dream Chaser, uh
Yeah.
because
This
that's
this
in
is
your
a
neck of the woods too, right? They did that in
it
Colorado.
is. It's dude, I'll start this with just a little backstory. When I used to live in Westminster, Colorado, suburbs way out there,
Hmm.
it's basically a little cluster of suburbs, which is Broomfield, Westminster, and Louisville. There's like nothing out there. There's some like industrial parks,
Hmm.
and in the middle of this one industrial park, there's like a nice bouldering gym, but everything else around it is just like undescript warehouses. And every time I went out there, I was just like, what are they doing out here? Turns out they're building spaceships. And
Wow.
they're building the sexiest spaceship ever. I mean, the curves on this thing. Um,
We'll flip a
I really
picture
like it, dude.
of what we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Cue the pick. That is a sexy pick. It's
very
it's
curvy.
something I definitely want like a scale model of, complete with the retractable wings and stuff. I want that on a shelf here in my apartment. It's
Hmm.
so cool looking. And also the technology, like they have a lot of like Lockheed's a technology partner. It's been in development for 14 years.
Oh wow.
So, you know, I think it almost didn't happen, but they've changed it up, rebuilt it, and now it looks like it's going to launch in April. Um, it's like capable of carrying like almost 4,000 pounds of cargo to the ISS autonomously. Um,
Well, it isn't
uh,
it only for return flights? Is it needs to be shot up in a rocket? Is that right? Or maybe I
shoot,
read this wrong.
it shoots up. It shoots up in a rocket 250 miles above Earth,
Hmm.
and then once it's in low Earth orbit, it sort of operates like a satellite,
Hmm.
and then it works its way to the ISS. Little wings are checked so it can fit into the docking bay, and then it just backs itself up in, and boom! Now the ISS has 4,000 pounds of cargo from Earth.
Yeah, I
And then
like.
it and,
Oh, go ahead.
and then it undocks and it glides very safely and slowly and lands on a runway with only like 1.5 G's. Very gentle landing.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the space shuttle, right? How it would come back in and
A little
land.
more a little more
Well, yeah,
sophisticated, but
more
yeah,
sophisticated, but
it,
yeah, it looks better than our current way that we have a capsule that just drops in the ocean with a parachute. That doesn't seem very
right.
2023, whatever year we're in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so medieval. Um, it's like the most inelegant solution. Just be like,
Yeah. You know, when
which
I
I still kind of believe that's what happened to that Bennu sample. Is it just like had a hard landing, and because they're still trying to open it this week, even it's
Oh yeah.
crazy.
Oh,
Um,
I heard that sample not to go off subject, but that it's now in the Smithsonian Museum, like, or one of the
well,
samples. I know there's a bunch of them, right?
they sent those samples just from the excess on top of it. They
Oh,
never
okay.
opened it.
Right,
That's
right. They
just
still
like
haven't
the
opened it.
spillover. So they had enough just to be like, here, send it to all the space agencies and get a small sample into the Smithsonian.
Gotcha.
Um, where were we on Dream Chaser? By the way, Dream Chaser, not crazy about that name.
Yeah.
It's like to me, it's like sounds like a kid's toy, like introducing the new Barbie Dream Chaser, and it's like a little
Yeah.
toy boat or something. It's kind of silly.
It needs a cooler name, kind of like that the new nozzle that we were talking about last year, like Rage or something, you know? Or what was it? Was it
Yeah,
Rage?
Ramfire.
Ramfire, not Rage. What am I thinking? Ramfire. Yeah, that sounds way cooler. Oh, and by the way, the city in Colorado where this is being developed or was developed, when
Yeah,
I read it like Kentucky, Louisville.
Louisville. Yeah,
Yeah. Is that how do
I
you
said
you said
I
Louis
said the same thing when I was out there because
and they're okay.
I was like, what is this town? They're like Louisville, and I was like, oh, I thought it was like maybe Louisville. They're like, no.
Yeah.
um,
When we lived in Tennessee and there was like people from Kentucky, uh, for our viewers that don't know, we used to be, we used to live in Nashville. We were roommates.
yeah, we're very worldly. Florida boys, a little time in Nashville, a little time in Paris, Alabama, Colorado.
Yeah. Um, yeah, they're very
Or,
particular. I used to say Louisville and they were like, no, it's Louisville. They were, you know, apparently it's just
yeah,
maybe it's a regional thing, but it's spelled exactly the same way. So,
yeah, it's the same. It's just it's one of these Colorado pronunciations. Um, so phase one of the Dream Chaser, we should give it a better name. Um, mm, I'll work on it.
yeah,
Phase
just at 30 seconds of us just like in silence thinking.
um, so yeah, phase one is just autonomous, and then phase two it's gonna carry like 3 to 7 people,
Hmm.
and then phase three is for national security, so that's like very private. It's Space
Okay.
Force stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I'm really digging the design, you know.
Yeah, no, it looks really cool.
So the company Sierra Space that's really in charge of this project, they're also partnering with Blue Origin on a maybe far-fetched sci-fi idea called the Orbital Reef, which is something I definitely want to talk about when more information becomes available.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we could pull up a picture of Orbital Reef,
Orbital reef. All right.
um, yeah, something we'll maybe do a little research on and talk about at a later date.
Yeah,
Uh,
sounds good.
that kind of covers space. The Dream
Dream
Chaser.
Chaser.
What is it
Okay.
called? Dream
What is
Chaser.
it called?
I was gonna call it Spacer Dracer or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I don't.
the
Oh, go ahead.
the that's it. I was just gonna say that was like my favorite space news story of the week.
Yeah. No, I thought that was a good topic to discuss. Yeah, the only other space topic I had was the what was the there was a NASA mission. What's it called? Lucy. I can't think of it.
Okay.
Did you hear about this?
No.
This was launched 2 years ago. They just took a picture of an asteroid because it's on its way to Jupiter's orbit to look at some Trojan asteroids. They
Mhm.
took a picture on the way of this like small asteroid, and it had a little asteroid that was orbiting it.
Oh, I saw. I didn't
It
know
was a
what that
couple
was
days ago.
called.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
from the
I saw a
Lucy.
picture.
It's from the Lucy spacecraft.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was cool.
And
We'll put a picture
and
of
the
that.
little asteroid had a smaller asteroid around it. Not
Yeah,
really.
yeah. It was a small asteroid they took a picture of that also had a smaller
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
I saw that. It did like a flyby, and then once it got around the corner, it was like, whoa, there's a little
Yeah.
guy.
It actually
It's got a
reminded
tag along.
me of the DART mission, right? Because what wasn't that the same thing? We were trying to nudge these two asteroids.
Yeah.
It's kind of a similar thing, but I have no idea
Yeah.
what the size differences are. But I thought that was
Yeah,
pretty
I
cool.
didn't realize what that was called, but I saw a picture of it. That was
Yeah,
cool.
the asteroid has a name. I don't remember what it's called, but it's from the Lucy spacecraft. That's
Hmm.
yeah, that's gonna go to Jupiter's orbit, which I don't think that's for another couple of years.
Here's something else. Okay, do you know about the history of photography and videography in space?
I don't.
Okay, I have a few things to say about this
Okay.
because right now there's a team developing a new camera. It's HULC. They're calling it the Hulk. I forget what that stands for. It's
Oh
just an
yeah.
off-the-shelf It's an off-the-shelf camera, but like they're making it space-proof in kind of a I feel like a silly way. They really just wrapped it in a blanket. That's not even a joke,
Yeah.
but
Some shielding.
it does make it's yeah there because like there's so many challenges to filming in space,
Yeah.
atmospheric pressure, radiation, lunar dust, just like having to
Solar
operate
winds.
buttons and viewfinders and stuff with a big helmet and gloves. There's a lot of things, but over 50 years ago, we did figure it out with off-the-shelf cameras. For example, when John Glenn was orbiting the Earth, I forget his little what the mission was. They said this is how they did it back then. This is crazy to me. NASA would be like, "Hey, John, you're going to space soon. Have you picked out a camera yet? You might want to take some pictures up there." And John's like, "Oh no, I haven't." So he went to like some drugstore in Cocoa Beach, and he said he found a $40 camera. He's like, looks good enough. Takes it
Mm.
to space, snaps a couple pictures, and then like later, for Apollo 11, they wanted to have better, pictures.
Mm.
So the guy who was they said they designated him. You're going to be the photographer on this. He was an amateur photographer, but they're like, you need to pick out a camera, and he chose this thing called the Hasselblad camera, which is
Mm.
like this high-end Swedish camera. It was $500 back in the '60s, so it's like
Oh yeah.
that's like over $5,000 today, probably.
Right.
Um, and then they pretty much stripped it all down, shielded that thing up, and it took some amazing pictures. Now the guys they're acting like, oh, it's so hard taking pictures in space. I'm like, we've done it, but
Well,
I don't know.
wasn't there a lot of like footage from the Apollo missions that like isn't viewable anymore because it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
destroyed? I'm wondering if
There's a
maybe
lot
that's
of
related to that. Maybe they
probably
didn't take the right
probably
care with it.
probably. But the guys that are testing the next generation of camera right now on Earth, they're saying they're testing it on Earth in lunar-like environments on Earth, and I'm like, there's no such thing. Like, you're just talking about going to the desert and like getting some dust,
Yeah.
but it's like
Are they gonna?
all those other things they talk about, the atmospheric pressure, the radiation, all this stuff. There's no way to test that on Earth, so I'm gonna call BS on that. But
Yeah. Don't they do a lot of moon simulation stuff like in a pool? Is that supposed to be like?
I think that's more with like the suits and stuff, and like
Yeah.
but I don't think they're testing the cameras underwater.
Yeah. That I mean
Um,
that wouldn't be a good test. Yeah.
it's a great way to break a expensive camera. Um, really, what we need someone like Insta 360 or
GoPro.
GoPro
Yeah.
action camera companies to like make something space proof so we can get some like VR 360 VR shots on the next mission in 2025.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be cool.
the money's at. Also, that's just great. That's the best marketing possible. Like
Yeah.
you get an advertisement from NASA being like, our stuff, you've seen our cameras on the slopes of Aspen, you've seen them on the waves of Maui, and now they're on the moon. Get a guy to voice over like that and cool voice, 90s voice, blah 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 blah.
You know,
Um,
NASA could probably get some funding from that. Be like, who would like to be our partner? You'll get free
yeah,
advertisement from it, but you do have to help with the supplying the cameras and designing.
it would be a good partnership,
Yeah.
like super strategic. I just like thinking of the history of how they did that. Like it's just so crazy that they're like, you're going to space, you're gonna want to take pictures. Take out a camera.
Yeah. It's like an afterthought. I guess they had bigger things to worry about though, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, that kind of concludes all the stuff I had prepared for
Yeah, I don't
space
have anything else.
news. I don't know, dude. Let's try a new segment. Let's try a tier list.
Let's do
They're
it.
all the rage online. It's the holiday season. Next segment. Let's do a holiday tier list.
'Tis the season.
I feel like it is. I was gonna do a condiment tier list at first, but then I was thinking holidays are so top of mind right now. Now's the time to talk about them.
Yeah, let's rate them.
Uh, okay, so we're gonna have to discuss these together and vote. I'm pretty sure I have some hot takes you might disagree with.
Okay.
I think we should start from the bottom. So we have. Let me tell you what we have here. We have Cinco de Mayo, Memorial Day, Easter. We have an unopened present, which represents Christmas Eve. We have St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, New Year's, 4th of July, Valentine's Day. The open present represents Christmas. You see how this works?
Mhm.
And then we have 420 on there. Okay. What are your first gut instincts on the tier list?
So, do we need what are the rules?
The rules are you put these in these categories. Anywhere
So
you want.
do we need to
We
is
just have
somebody
we
got
just
to
have
be an
to
F?
we have to
Do
come to a consensus. That's the
Okay.
only
All
rule.
right.
So I think we should start from the bottom. What are your first instincts about the holidays? Which one is an F tier holiday?
This is a tough one because I feel like
I
if
I
you
know
shit
mine immediately.
if you shit talk a certain holiday, I don't want to alienate our viewers
No, no,
as
no,
well.
no.
But
It's not about alienating the viewers. It's just about the truth.
all
um, okay,
right,
so I'll kickstart it with
let's
my
do it.
my
Yeah.
first my first instinct.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say that Valentine's Day is an F tier holiday.
I'd agree with that.
I'm putting that down there because Valentine's Day is made up, right? Isn't that kind of historically accurate?
Yeah.
It's also kind of a lady holiday. There's really not much for the men on Valentine's Day, except maybe a little bit of hanky panky here at the end of the night. But it's not for us.
Yeah.
If
I
this
would agree
was
with that.
if
No
this was a
argument.
woman's podcast, maybe they would disagree. But since this is our podcast, I'm gonna say Valentine's Day F tier.
I think you should be romantic year round. Maybe not
I
go out of your
agree.
way and you know, purchase chocolates and flowers and diamonds, every day, but uh
Yeah.
yeah, that I agree with that being F for sure.
Um. Anything else standing out to you? Like,
As an F tier,
no, it could be
um
anywhere, but it could be. We don't have to go in order, but it's just like we need to find a home for all these
yeah,
holidays.
let's do this because I feel like there's so much on that board. Let's pick
Mhm.
one and let's just rate it
Okay.
a letter.
All right. Halloween just happened. Um, what are you thinking for Halloween?
I don't think it's A tier. I'll say that. Um,
Nah. Maybe when you're a kid. Maybe when you're a kid.
yeah, and even as a parent now, I would say B or C
Mm.
for me.
See, I was actually gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say this is either a B minus or a C plus holiday.
Okay, so
Um,
put it on the
I don't
line.
know.
Have it edge between B and C,
Okay, let's put it like right there in the middle.
and we can nudge it
We
if
could, yeah, yeah. I like that.
I think
Um,
perspective, if we already have some other stuff on there that we're rating, I'd be like, yeah, I guess that one's better than that one, so we can,
yeah.
everything's relative, right?
Um, let's go with Easter since it's right here on top, standing out. This is a tough one for me because I thought about it a lot. Um, but I do have a hot take on it.
This is tough.
I sorry, Jesus. I think you're a D tier holiday. um, I don't know. What are your thoughts on Easter?
Okay, if we're basing it on the Easter Bunny, I'd agree with that. Let's put it on D.
Sorry, Jesus. He'll forgive us. Next holiday. Let's go with St. Patrick's. It's right there.
I like St. Patrick's. I don't know, it's not A.
It's definitely not A. It's definitely not B for me. Um,
I wouldn't give it an
I,
F, but
I wouldn't give it an F. I think it definitely is in this weird territory between C and D though.
yeah. Do you want
Because
to put it on the
how
line?
much
Put it on the CD line?
let's put it on the CD
Yeah,
line.
let's do
Because
that.
like it's one of those holidays that how often do you think about St. Patrick's Day throughout the year?
Usually the day of, I'm like, oh, it's St. Patrick's Day.
Exactly. I think that that just goes to show it's not very important. See, the reason I'm really conflicted on this one is because I get really excited about the food part of it. I love making a pork stew. I love making corned beef for Rubens, having a stout. That's
Yeah,
really fun. I
yeah,
listen to
that
some
part's
Irish
fun.
music,
Hmm.
watch Boondock Saints, but it's like, I mean, I'm making a pork stew tomorrow. It's like you can
Right.
do that
You can do that
anytime. I can have a
anytime.
Guinness. I can have a Guinness whenever. Yeah, it's probably a C plus or D or a C minus D plus holiday. Let's get one of these Christmas Eve, or actually let's leave those to the end because I feel like those are going to be the most contentious. Um, let's go with 4th of July. 4th of July.
I like 4th of July.
I
Not A
love
tier.
4th of July.
I would say B or C for me.
B or C. I'm actually cool with saying this is a C holiday.
Okay.
I would even just put it right on there.
For the record, we are both very patriotic.
Oh yeah, I mean I love America. I put Memorial
Yeah,
Day in
yeah.
there.
We're
Let's
just
do
rating
that.
these on like holiday, like, how fun is the actual holiday, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the
So,
factors.
Memorial Day, another patriotic day. This
Yeah.
one's tough.
This one's really tough. We should
Also,
honor our veterans.
I got
And
to point out when I was choosing the graphics for these little cutouts,
uh
the majority of Memorial Day graphics are just gravestones, and I was
uh
like, ugh. Here's the reasons I like Memorial Day. It is kind of the unofficial start of summer, but it's
mhm.
not too hot yet. People like to cook outside, which I'm like, okay, why not cook out in the winter? It's more fun to cook in the winter. The best movies of the year usually come out Memorial Day weekend,
Yeah.
and I love a good movie. And also, we're Imajima. Uh, we're giving tribute to our 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 fallen uh, our fallen military men by taking a holiday, a day off. Um, actually, dude, this is tough because I sort of want to put it above 4th of July, but we don't blow shit up on Memorial Day, so that's tough.
Yeah, there's usually not fireworks. Although there can be. Maybe we need to make Memorial Day great again.
That's a you should
Uh,
run on that.
Yeah.
Um, let's let's
We need
kind of
to
keep okay. Let's do this. Let's kind of put these all in C and D right now because one of
Okay.
them is going to be above the other one. Um, Cinco de Mayo. Okay, this is similar to St. Patrick's Day in a lot
Yeah.
of ways. The cultural appropriation, the drinking holiday, but Mexican food is my favorite genre of food.
Yeah.
Um,
Should that go in C?
I think it's a D. I
You think it's a
can't
D?
help it. I think it's a D. Um, I love Mexican culture, so I don't want to do that to them, but it's like, I don't know. What are you thinking? Is it a D?
I think that's fair. I think I might have been a little gracious with it. Put it at D.
Well, we can move these. We can do final assembly at the end. But
I think
I
there's
think it
going to
is a
be I
D.
think there's going to be a lot of D's.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
We're very partisan with our holidays. It's either extreme A or D or F.
okay, 420. I have a very hot take on this one. Immediately, I know where to put this one.
Uh, I would say F because I don't do
You know
anything.
why? You know
I
why
live
it's
in
an F
Alabama.
tier? I'll tell you why it's an F tier holiday. It's for people that make getting high their personality.
Yeah.
If you're an adult and you celebrate 420, you're a loser. I'm gonna look straight in the camera and say that. You're a dork. Get a job, hippie.
It's
No,
funny. I just watched a Workaholics episode, and they were treating 420 because that's what they are, a bunch of stoners in the show.
mm,
But they were treating that like it was like Christmas. They're like, "Oh, happy holidays," and they had their
people
drug
in
dealer
Denver
come
do
by
that.
with like a Santa Claus like red bag, and
Yeah,
it
that's
was, it
funny
was
for a show,
yeah, it
but
was funny for a
the
show, but yeah, it's
people that live that way in real life, like people in Denver, I'm like, come on, you could do that any time of the year.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry, that's F tier.
yeah, I
Um,
agree.
Probably unpopular opinion. Okay, now we're at like the big guys, the big holidays. I I'm gonna say,
So I
uh,
Christmas Eve and Christmas to me, I kind of lump them in the same holiday as
see,
Christmas, but
I think Christmas Eve is better than Christmas.
really,
Yeah, yeah, for many reasons. It's like the anticipation of it is exciting, and then there's a little bit of sadness on Christmas Day of like, okay, well, I waited for like 2 months because like the
yeah,
Christmas season is longer than just December. Like
hmm
I'm kind of feeling it now, in early November. So it's like once Christmas comes around, Christmas Day, I'm sort of like, all right, well, the presents are open, and now it's just like, now it's all downhill from here. Christmas Eve, though, there's just it's so exciting. Even though I grew up in a household that didn't play that Santa bullshit, my parents are just like, we're not gonna lie to you. I still like the magic of Christmas Eve. Like, ooh,
I enjoy Christmas Eve a lot, and I like Christmas Day, and I think it's as when I was younger, we would do stuff on Christmas Day. Most of the stuff we
yeah, that's
do.
true. If if okay, let's think of these different tiers like, like it is a scale. So if I was doing it, I would put Christmas Eve there and then Christmas there. But I guess they could be interchangeable.
Sure. Yeah, we can leave those both A.
Um, Last one we have to find a home is New Year's Eve. Um, I'm a big fan of New Year's Eve.
Did we not have a Thanksgiving one?
I forgot. I
That's all right.
I
That's
forgot
okay.
Thanksgiving. I guess.
That's all right. That's all right. We could verbally, or if you have a pen, we could just write TG.
I don't. I
That's fine.
don't. But also the fact that I forgot it says
That
something.
says
Hmm.
I actually like Thanksgiving. I enjoy the food a lot, but yeah, it's not super high up. I would give it maybe a C or
Wow. This is a this is this is a huge misstep. We need to fire our podcast producer. This is embarrassing. This is a professional show. We don't have Thanksgiving on here. Because I would put Thanksgiving like a solid B. I love Thanksgiving. Darn. Is there anything I could put as a stand-in here? I've got nothing. I don't even have a dry erase marker near me.
that is
Wow.
funny though that you would give it a B, even though you forgot it.
I love it. I mean, seriously, like I love everything about it. I love waking up and watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I do it
Mhm,
every year, even though I'm a grown ass man. I love watching the dog show, and then
mhm.
football. And then the only thing about it, the only reason I would bump it down, maybe even to a C, is because I think Thanksgiving food sucks. I don't,
Really?
I don't, I don't care about traditional Thanksgiving food.
Mhm.
Um,
I
but yeah,
actually I actually like Thanksgiving food. I mean, it's not something that I want to eat every day, but I like green bean casserole. I like oven roasted turkey and
yeah. See, turkey. It's not my favorite. Protein casseroles. It's not really something
Yeah,
I grew up
it's
with.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's something I enjoy, and usually other
Wow,
people are making it.
I can't believe forgot Thanksgiving. Jeez, I'm sorry, Turkey God. That's crazy. I mean, I love Thanksgiving. I kind of want to, yeah, I want to give it a solid B just because I forgot. Oh, that's New Year's. Well,
I thought that was Thanksgiving, but when you said New Year's, I was like, where's that gonna go? Um,
damn.
well, let's rate New Year's. Let's put a placeholder Thanksgiving. I associate Thanksgiving a little bit with Christmas. It's like pre-Christmas,
Yeah, yeah,
so I
exactly.
would give it a B or C.
B for sure.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, you have hold this spot right here. Um, yeah, I have
Yeah.
nothing to put there.
All right. Well,
Wow,
let's
it's
well
crazy.
let's rate New Year's, I guess.
New Year's, I like it for a lot of reasons.
Hmm.
It's it is the end of the Christmas season in a way. Like that's the final day that you're like, oh, the lights are magical still, and it's cold, and you feel the good vibes and the hope of the new year. You can
It's the
get
second holiday where you have fireworks usually,
yeah, yeah, I like that. I mean,
or the first, I guess, depending on how you.
I'm thinking it's a B. Also, randos want to make out with you. You can drink. Those are all great things.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a B. I would say I didn't put New Year's Day on here because I think New Year's Day sucks, but New Year's Eve is pretty darn fun. Um,
It's definitely fun when you have plans. I feel like I haven't had plans in a long time for New Year's Eve, and I end up just sleeping through it.
oh yeah.
And maybe part
Uh,
of that's being on a time zone that's not. I feel like the Eastern time zone is like, when they have like the ball drop, it's weird to watch it like on a rerun to me.
oh yeah,
So
I
I
don't
always
understand
celebrate
that.
it earlier. I don't know.
Yeah, watching New Year's on a delay is fake.
Yeah.
Um, I would give it a B. You think a B is fair for this one?
Sure. Yeah. Let's do
I'm gonna
it.
put it there just so we have that little placeholder. Remember
Yeah.
to
Thanksgiving is there.
Thanksgiving. Never forget.
Maybe I
That's
can
great.
Photoshop something in there, like video edited.
Oh, if you could video edit a little dancing turkey, I will give you a raise. That's cool.
Double
I
my
can't believe
salary.
I forgot it. Okay, so we need to come up with some solid spots for these ones that are riding the line. Um, Halloween, definitely cooler as a kid. Um, I don't like scary stuff really, but I do like the vibe. I don't know. I kind of leaning towards C on this one. What do you think? Is it more of a B for you?
It's more of a B for me just because as a parent, like it's fun to watch your kid get dressed up.
Yeah,
But we could leave it
I
on the
could go.
line if you want.
No, no, I could go with a B because like it's closer. It's really riding the line for me, so I can go
Yeah.
either way. Um, St. Patrick's Day, I'm sort of starting to think that it deserves a D
It,
when
it
I'm looking at it.
it's right next to Cinco de Mayo. I probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're basically cousins. Um, and then Memorial Day and Fourth of July.
You know, with this perspective, I'm leaning to put moving both of those to C.
I am too, but if I had to do that, I would put Fourth of July above Memorial Day. I'm sorry, troops.
We
Hmm.
appreciate them so
But
much.
you don't have fireworks, you
Yeah.
know?
Maybe what we need to do is we need to make that great. Make the holiday.
Okay.
We need to add
Let's
fireworks. That should be
let's
an
put it
executive order.
there. Put it there. Yeah, whoever's the next president, make Memorial Day great again. Um, so I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about these placements. Um,
I think these are very reasonable.
I think if we had Thanksgiving in B, this would be something we could frame and put in the Smithsonian. This is
We know
this
we
is
keep it with the space theme of our podcast. We shoot that thing up in with Voyager and Voyager 3 and send it to the aliens. Be like, this is how we rate
yeah,
our holidays.
plate it in gold and just let it go out there in
Yeah.
space until some advanced intelligent life finds it and they're like,
Like, what is this?
ah. No, I kind of like to believe that they're super intelligent. They're like, they forgot Thanksgiving. All right, Kevin. I think that wraps it up for today. This was a pretty good episode. I don't know if we have the outro music ready, so let's just do it. Okay, like
All right.
3, 2, 1, go. This sucks. Play it. Play the music.